Hello, guys. I hope you hear me well. So welcome you on the next event of the Lublin Science and Technology Park. I'm happy to have you here with us today in Lublin, Poland, but also online. So this event is organized under the Global Entrepreneurship Week, the next edition of this great event. Today we will talk about students, startups, and also the Connect Poland Prize Accelerator, our brand new program for promising startups outside Poland. We will also try to help you learn how to start up, what it takes for students to start up, but also how to get funding of up to 300 Polish zlotych to accelerate your growth. Okay, so let's start. Just let me share the first part of the meeting. Okay, great. So let's start. My name is Andrzej Mrowicz. I am a startup scout for the Connect Poland Prize program, but also the project manager for Lublin Science and Technology Park. And today is my part of presentation about whether students are destined to startup. First, I would like to present you some well-known but also less known startups, companies which were launched at universities or even before. So first, Google. You know this company very well, and it was established back in 1996 by two students at Stanford University in the United States. And it was launched when one of those students was considering to start its studying journey at Stanford, and the second one just helped him to walk around the university and show what premises and what opportunities are out there. So that was the start. The second company is Facebook. Now is more well known as Meta. It was started, as you probably know, by Mark Zuckerberg, and it was launched eventually in a dorm room at Harvard University. The idea of Mark was to create an online hot or not game to compare friends' photos at his university. The next company I would like to share you on is Snapchat, also well known especially for Z generation representatives. And this company was established back in 2011 by also Stanford University fellows when they originally presented the idea as part of a product for their product design class. So this was also created under university atmosphere. The next one is also very well-known global company, which is Federal Express, established back in 1971 by a 20-year-old Yale University student, which and the idea was originally outlined in economics class. So this is the next example how students can start up. And you can see at the bottom of this slide two other companies. Maybe you know them, maybe not, but they're just very well known in Poland. The first one is Drone Hub, which was established by a Ukrainian guy in Poland. The Drone Hub was launched back in 2015, then known as Survey Robotics, and it was launched by its co-founder Vadim Melnik with basically no idea how it would work, but he was very motivated to develop himself and to start with something. And the next idea of startups which were established when being at university or even before, as in case of Get Dressed, is this very Polish startup, which was launched in 2018 by a pre-university team. So those were then college students, and they just had an idea and commitment to learn how to start up. So, as you see, the first deal for you is the first recommendation is to start when you are young and save your lifetime, because as far as you will start, you can make as many ideas as you can, and it is well known that not every startup idea is the best, and not every startup idea will boost your life and the life of all the current generation of people. So just take it into account that unless you're not dead, you can really start, but it is best to start when you're young. And few figures for you. The first one is, as you see, that students, almost maybe 100% of students are by definition to attend classes and learn new stuff. And this is kind of comparison to the saying that they are performing to learn. Which is so-called paid workforce. And the next part of the globe of students are students who, while studying, are running their business. And as some research of the Warsaw University Incubator show, there are just 8% of such kind of students. So they are an opposite group, and they are just learning to perform and run a business. So learning by doing approach is a very great approach how to not just learn, but learn it in practice. And here you can see two parts of the slide. The first is the upper one is dark, so this represents the dark side of approaches how to start up, and the bottom one is representing the light side. Yeah, and so when we are talking about the dark side of startupping, people used to, and students especially, used to say that they don't know where to look for support. That is why they don't start up. They also can have no idea how to get funding, where to get it, what are the very guys who can provide them with financing. They can also say that, okay, I'm proactive, but I have no feedback from my peers on my startup idea, and that is why it is very devastating for me, because I'm stuck. I have no other motivation to do this and to continue with my idea, because no one needs it. And this is also a very great problem for youngsters, because it creates some barrier for them to start. And also there are some other guys and girls who say that, okay, I have a great idea, but I'm being afraid it can be stolen. And there are many other plenty of reasons why they don't want to start. They have no money, no faith, no knowledge, etc. And the light side of the startup approach is based on the opportunities you can have and pursue to get some success story. Yeah. So as you see, university is a great place where you can have available totally unlimited networking opportunities. You can know a lot of guys, a lot of friends, which can be your next co-founders or potential free customers, because they are understanding your idea or just want to help you. And just to learn how big is this opportunity, just check how many students do you have at your university. For example, Lublin is a very academic city, and it has about 65,000 students, and of them there are about 10 to 11% foreign students. So just imagine which impact can you have, and which access to networking can you have, just to when thinking what can you do with this. Yes. Also, the university period in your life is about flexibility. So basically you do not have children, some children, yes, or many of them. These are not your obligations by definition, and you can also probably you do not have some loans, and you do not work a 8 to 5 workday or other commitments. So this is also the great opportunity for you to capitalize on, because this gives you a very great room for startupping. And the next two opportunities you have are risks and diversity. So risks are low and diversity is high. Risks are low because you have probably not so much risks in your life, as I mentioned previously. You do not have any loans. So maybe you probably do not have children when you're studying and when you're a very young person. So you don't risk with other commitments. But also it's about diversity, because as the practice shows, investors love diversity in teams. So this is about diversity of skills, diversity of gender, diversity of experiences of co-founders and startup teams. So investors love it. And also this is about you as a startup, because startups, as you know, also love investors. They are seeking for I mean, in many cases, they are seeking for external funding. That is why this is also your opportunity as a university guy or girl to tackle this chance and use it for your support and for your startup journey. And here are some other figures. Which are based on the report by the Creator Fund and research which was done back in 2020, the first COVID year. And in this report, State of Student Startups, there were some figures which are showing that the international teams of startups are prevailing in London. This was the London-based research. That is why the next recommendation for you is to look for some mates, friends who are from other countries, but who are also in your city or outside. Even online, you can access them, reach them nowadays. So this is a very also great opportunity to diversify your startup and your journey, and to access maybe some other opportunities for your global success. But also it is about the female co-founders. So we are seeing now in the venture capital experiences that female co-founders are rising now, and they are rising the startup agenda. And this is connected to the previous point about the diversity of teams. So just make sure you have on board as much diversity in your team as you can, so to have very wide opportunity to develop your startups. And also that report showed us that startups are better for teams, not for solo founders. So as you see, about 1/5 of startups were created by just solo founders, which is quite very important element to remember, because just imagine if you get ill and you do not have some time and forces power to work on your startup, and in this case you can have support of your mate, of your co-founder, but also this is about the skills you can provide for your startup journey, for your development of your solution. That is why just be aware that the solo founders are those in minority in the startup community. But the underlying figure, the next figure, and the last one of this slide, is that the average number of founders per startup as based on this report is more than 2. So just have a look who can be your next friend. Maybe you do not know him well or her well, but just tell her or him, hello, I would like to present you idea. I can see that we have a lot in common, and let's start maybe test some ideas jointly. So to summarize, the deal number 2, do not be shy. Do not build barriers in front of you, and choose to act globally, which means locally and globally. So find some co-founders, find some friends who are not from your country, because they can provide great cultural perspective to your startup, but also act locally, which means act with small steps, and don't be afraid you will not be successful, because startups are about failing and successing. So that is very important element to remember when you're starting. And you see here on this slide the Y Combinator, which is very well-known, prominent accelerator, which is co-founded by Paul Graham. And back in 2016, back in 2006, Paul Graham wrote a article on how students can start up. And one of the points he tried to provide is, why should one wait till they graduate, for students. And here he mentioned that there are some reasons for them, for students to start, but also to not start. That is why I just invite you to check this article out, and maybe you can also learn about what can be interesting for you, but also what are the cons for startupping there in this article. So what it takes for a student to start up. I made some research and found a very great article also, which was written by a student who is also a startupper. It was Daniel Kahn, a UC Berkeley student, and he mentioned in his article that there are some few important steps to remember for college students when startupping. And just to add and just to divide those recommendations into 2 parts, it should be mentioned that idea is not sufficient, and in fact idea for startups are just about 10% or so, and the most part you can do, and you can impact on is action. So take action. And when it takes to idea and how to ideate, just take a look and at your environment, be observable, empathize, think what are the problems around you and how can you make some interesting solutions, very original ones, to tackle those problems. So think about what are the pains of people, what are the pains of yourself. And the next step is to write it down. I mean, to make your idea crystal clear. So here you see how Daniel Kahn provided the template for describing your basic sounding of the idea. And the tip for that, the additional tip is for you to check what is a business model canvas, a great tool how to communicate your idea, but also how to structure it and make it more understandable by your future co-founders maybe, but also for the process of getting external financing and developing, growing your startup. The next recommendation Daniel gave us is to validate. I mean, test your hypothesis and do improvements. So iterate and try to understand what does work and what doesn't work with your idea, because basically each startup idea at the very beginning was just an idea, and it had some, some great maybe features. But as far as you are trying to understand what really your potential customers, your friends would like to have from this solution of the problem, which is painful one, you can imagine that the idea is rapidly changing. So it is okay, and it is a desirable process for startups. So validate your idea and try to understand what is working and what is not. And the last very key recommendation is to try to build at least something which can be used by your potential customers. I mean, even in a real case. So think, and there are plenty of sources you can find on how to build this so-called MVP, which is minimum viable product. And this minimum viable product is also your road to build a product market fit, which is a stage of a startup solution when it ideally or nearly ideally addresses the problems of your customers, and that shows you that customers are willing to pay for and use your solution you designed for them. And the last very, I think maybe the most important recommendation for you is to get a team on your board. So as far as you remember, just about 20% of startups are founded by solo founders. So just take a look who can be your next friend of your startup. And now I will turn to the next part of the presentation, where to find support for your startup. And we are based in Lublin region, so I will help you have a look. What are some few ideas where to get support for your startup? And the first very obvious one is Google. Yes, really, it is a very great tool, because me personally, I also learn a lot about what Lublin can offer for me as a person who are interested in innovation in startups. And I live in Lublin for 10 years, and even recently, I learned about some new organizations who are offering a great offer for beginning entrepreneurs, but also for those who are more advanced. The next one is less obvious, and these are the so-called starting platforms. Here in Lublin region, we have now currently two of them, which is Wschodni Akcelerator Biznesu and Eastern Business Accelerator, which is based in Puławy and run by the Puławy Science and Technology Park. The next one is a Unicorn Hub, which is implemented, run here in Lublin, in the very heart of the city. And you can just check the offer of those incubation programs, which are just designed for those who has no so-called MVP. I mean, they are designed to help beginning entrepreneurs to build their minimum viable product from scratch with some proven idea. Yes, because you don't you won't go to the startup platform and say, okay, guys, I have a great idea. You just have to have it crystal clearly described. And for such kind of programs, just business model canvas is a very great tool to start from. And there you can access to a funding of up to 1 million of Polish zlotych, which is non-equity, and it is for the startup ecosystem a very great tool to start from. The next example of where you can find free of charge support for your startup is a Startup Academy, and also very well known a player on the in the startup ecosystem in Poland, and it operates both locally and online. And I just recommend you to check some programs they have for mentoring, incubation, and one-on-one meeting with some great business experts. And but also they are organizing some great trainings which are free of charge and which are online about how to ideate, how to build your idea, how to describe it on the using business model canvas, how to get external financing, what are the opportunities for you on the Polish investment market, venture capital market, and how can you build your startup with some basic financial skills. So, but the very last point here is to mention about the Startup Sprint online self-paced program. It is paid one, but it is also a very great tool which will teach you step by step how to start your innovative journey. And with I think I didn't try it, but I think it is a very great tool, and I read some great recommendations about this platform, and you can use it for example, for your startup idea description, validation, some initial validation, and applying by having that result of startup sprint, you can apply, for example, for startup platforms here in Lublin region or in Eastern Poland. And for some professionals, for some advanced students, for some advanced startups, we have a Connect Poland Prize Accelerator, and my colleague Milena Wróblewska, who is also a startup scout under Connect Poland Prize program, will tell you more. And just to make you some initial smell of this program, with the help of this program, you will find your industry partner or investor. You will get an equity-free financing. You will accelerate your validation with the help of those industry partners, which are great ones, and are their list is provided on our website, but also you will access Polish and even EU market, which is great opportunity for those who would like to boost their ideas. So as you see, and to summarize, they did. Google did it. Facebook did it. Snapchat, FedEx, GetDressed, and DroneHub did it. You can also do it while studying at university or even before. And so the deal number 3 and the last deal for you is about opportunities which are starting to arise when just you are finishing with saying no. So take it into account. I know it's very obvious thing, but sometimes we do not we are not aware of how great the opportunities can be when we just start to think what can we gain from from our environment. So thanks, and here you can see my email. You can meet me at Lublin Science and Technology Park, or just tell me and send me an email, and we can talk about startups and other things we can cooperate on. So thank you very much. This was my part of the presentation, and the floor is for Milena Wróblewska, my colleague, who will tell you more about the Connect Poland Prize Accelerator. Thanks.
Thank you, Andriy. Hello, everyone. My name is Milena, and like Andriy said, I have a great solution for young entrepreneurs. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our Connect Poland Prize project. So let me share my presentation. So today I'm going to tell you shortly about the new acceleration program. And during the presentation, we're going to go over what is the Connect Poland Prize program, for whom is the program, what a participant can receive, and how to participate. And also we will introduce you some of our business partners. And after that part will be the time for your questions. So if you have any question, please type in a chat box anytime. We'll answer all of your questions after the presentation. And also you can ask your question in Polish, English, and Ukrainian languages. So Connect Poland Prize Acceleration Program aims to improve Polish innovation ecosystem and its culture through the open innovation. And Connect Poland Prize is the acceleration program that encourages foreign startups to move and start business in Poland. Its objective is to attract and adopt foreign technology and business culture into the Polish startup ecosystem. So basically, we support startups from outside Poland through like financing, mentoring, which I tell you more about it shortly, in opening their business in Poland. The project is implemented under the operational program Intelligent Development for 2014-2020, supporting the environment and business potential for research, development, and innovation. Program is financed by European Regional Development Fund. And acceleration program runs from July 2021 to October 2023 and consists 4 rounds of recruitment for the program. And this is very important for the project to select the businesses that have the greatest chance to be successful. And program is operated by Lublin Science and Technology Park, working for the economic development and innovation of the Lublin region. Park's mission is to build real partnership between businesses and science in Lublin, as well as developing academic entrepreneurship. And what criteria must be met to participate in the program? The acceleration program is implemented in the following areas of specialization, like pharmaceutical, biotechnology, bioeconomy, and industrial Internet of Things, but also industries that can be submitted, but it must be related by national smart specialization. And currently, there is a total of 13 smart specialization in Poland. So this is like quite a wide range of areas of specialization for startups. And the key target group for who can apply for the project are startups from Ukraine and Belarus, but also we invite others markets with strong innovation potential. So basically, we invite startups from all over the world to join the program. But we also invite Polish members of the startup, but there is the rule that at least 50% of shares in the company belongs to the founders or members of the team from outside Poland, and at least one of the management board members comes from outside Poland. And projects also look for startups that display an adequate level of technology readiness and must be a level 5, which means that the technology is validated in a relevant environment. And also will deliver the functioning MVP or product within 10 months of starting the acceleration program in Poland. So now we know who the beneficiaries are. So this is what they're going to receive. And the main benefits are financial support, which is up to 66,000 euro, access to soft landing and acceleration programs, which are free of charge, assisting with the legalization of stay process in Poland, individual development and acceleration plan, expert support across the entire process of development, and possibility of attracting investors and business partners. And there is much more. And how to participate? As you can see on the screen, this is the timeline of phases for participating startup. And first of all, the startup has to fill the form, providing the precise detailed description of their project. And the application should be submitted online by creating an account and filling the online form available on the platform, polandprize.lpnt.eu, in the Apply tab, as you can see on the screen. And then is the selection phase. This is the time to analyze the business ideas, and the expert will be in touch with the startups to discuss all the details. And after that, the experts will be inviting the best startup to join the acceleration program. Next stage is soft landing. In this phase that aims to prepare startups to run their business in Poland. And soft landing key activities include legalization of state process in Poland and business registration, creating a work plan. And it is in soft landing, the startup can, if the startup reach the first milestone, when it's open the company in Poland, we receive 10,000 zloty, which is over 2,000 euro. And soft landing stage takes around 1 month. In the development stage, the startup will be prepared for entry into the Polish market. And the milestone is to sign a letter of interest with the Polish business partner. Then the startup receives 40,000 zlotych, which is around almost 9,000 euro. And key activities of development stage includes learning sessions, working with experts, securing business partners. Development phase takes around 2-3 months. The acceleration stage aimed at preparing business idea with the cooperation of business partners and acceleration staff to be implemented by a technology recipient or to obtain financing from the investor. Main activities of this stage are workshop and consulting service, development and market testing of MVP. If the startup reaches 3 milestones during this stage, can receive a sum of 55,000 euro, which is 250,000 zloty. And this stage takes up to 10 months. Once acceleration process is complete, we organize the event called Connect Demo Day. And during this event, the startup will get the opportunity to present their product to a group of experts, promote their activities in the media, and attract foreign investors. And the last phase, post-acceleration, the startup can still receive consultation, have access to online knowledge base, and be provided with the individual development plan. To summarize the grant budget offered to startups, which are mentioned in the previous slide. So on the first stage of the program, soft landing and development, startup can receive up to 50,000 zloty, 11,000 euro, and up to 250,000 zloty, 55,000 euro grants. And you can apply by creating an account and filling the online form available on the platform. And currently, we complete the first round of the program, but we invite you to apply in December. We're just planning the next round. And those are our business partners. Polish companies are looking for new solution, the implementation and use of which will increase innovation and competitiveness and expand the reach of the company. Our business partners, among others, and we still reaching the new companies. There are some very big companies like PGE Dystrybucja. This is the industry leader in electricity distribution in Poland, or Grupa Azoty Puławy, leading manufacturer and supplier nitrogen fertilizer to the Polish market and abroad. And other business partners and investors, you can find more information with description of all business partners and investors on our website. So you can check us out on project Connect Poland Prize website, our Facebook and Instagram. Or if you have any question, you can email us directly, or our scouts contact information are also on our website in a tab, team tab. Thank you. If you have any questions, ask in a chat box. Me and Andriy going to answer. So feel free to ask. Thank you.
Just in case, if you're interested about when the next call for our acceleration program will be, we are planning it in the beginning of December. So just check out our Facebook on the fan page, our website, and let's be in touch with us. Also on this email channel, so you can just write us a short email with your questions, and you can see those emails provided in the chat box. So if nobody of you has any questions, we can just wrap up the meeting, and would like to thank you for your attention, and I hope maybe you will your next journey will be in Lublin here in Poland, and you will be the next participant of our Connect Poland Prize Acceleration program. So thank you very much. Thank you, Milena, for your time, and thank you all for your time, and have a nice day. Bye.